Country sees a surge in coronavirus cases. At least 12 states have hit the pause button on reopening, but Massachusetts is reportedly on track to stopping the spread. A group of health and public policy experts created a model that says the Commonwealth's COVID-19 preparedness meets or exceeds international standards. Joining us to discuss, John Paul Moran. He's a Republican candidate for Massachusetts' 6th District. John Paul, since the story came out, the total number of cases has ticked up just over 100. 35 more deaths were reported as of Monday. But according to this model, the state overall is still seeing declining numbers. What do you think Massachusetts is doing differently that's keeping the transmission rates down?
Well, I think I understand there'll be more testing here, and we're also people are being following direction when it comes to wearing masks and social distancing. I, for one, believe the shutdown was far too aggressive and unnecessary in many ways. But I do believe that there is science behind social distancing and to a certain degree wearing masks, especially if you're the one that's infected. So people in Massachusetts, I think, pride themselves on being more science focused and following the rules. They follow more so than other places.
Sure. I know you are running for Congress here. Tell me about what you've heard from constituents who are dealing with these reopening guidelines. I'm sure you've spoken with some businesses as well who might have been shut down during the earlier stages of the pandemic that are beginning to open up. Do they say that they have the support from the government when it comes to reopening efforts?
Well, I, for one, do not believe that there's been far too it's been too aggressive when it comes to shutting down businesses. I've spoken with a lot of businesses in my district and in Boston and other places, and it doesn't make any sense that Walmarts and supermarkets, granted we need supermarkets open for people to buy food, right? But there's a lot of big box stores that were allowed to stay open, but small restaurants and small stores were closed, and they're putting a lot of people out of business. So I believe that people can be responsible, they can wear masks, they can socially distance, but they can make up their own minds, and businesses should be reopening now. I don't believe bars, for example, are going to be opening up probably till the fall time frame, and restaurants are only opened up to a small capacity right now. So businesses are still small businesses are struggling desperately right now, and I believe that there's things that we can do that don't. For example, I've got a science background. I don't see the science behind shutting down small businesses. I think there's a lot of things we can do to safeguard the elderly and the people that are most at risk without shutting down our economy.
Tell me about your district, too, the 6th District. Of course, that's the North Shore part of the state, and you'd think that that could greatly impact tourism during the summer months, of course, with people maybe being hesitant to come out and support these businesses.
Well, there was actually some protests where people throwing tea into the water, harking back to the Boston Tea Party, because businesses have, up in New England, there's about an 8-week time frame from July 4th through the summer to make all their money for the year, and to keep them shut down it is proving disastrous. So there has been some restrictions lifted, but still businesses are really suffering, and a lot of restaurants that have been around for decades are closed for good. Not only restaurants, but small businesses and stores. So I believe that there's a much better way forward. When we look at other red states that are doing better than us economically, that are managing this, I think that shows that we can be smart and careful, but we don't have to crush small businesses.
And you are running as a Republican. Tell us your message to voters when they head to the ballot box.
Unity, liberty, and opportunity for all is my message. I believe that's not only my message, but it's the purpose of government. We just had an event a few days ago where we talked about that. We got great response. So we really want to change the dialogue from power, wealth, and control that the left wants, and unity, liberty, and opportunity that people want. So I'm running on more of a populist message that I believe resonates. I'm a small business owner. I'm an MIT scientist. I was originally an MIT scientist, and I have a very background that's very, very different. And I believe that our constituents in Massachusetts want somebody who understands the needs of the district and can talk about things like business, jobs, the economy, healthcare, and the ways I can from the perspective of a constituent and a small business owner.
All right, that's John. Yeah, John Paul Moran, we're out of time, but we appreciate you coming on and hope that you'll keep us updated about your race. He's a Republican Massachusetts congressional candidate. Thanks so much.